Hi, everyone. I wanted to show you a couple of examples of some of my favorite graphics to use in litigation, and those are timelines, specifically interactive timelines. These are very beneficial. Almost every case could benefit from having a timeline incorporated in some form of visual demonstration of it. So here are a couple of different examples, and what I like about a few of these is they can show you a few different ways to create a timeline, as well as different color schemes and ways to kind of demonstrate different pieces of information. This first one is a regular timeline. It's already created, but what's unique about this is that you can link directly to your document. So you can click on the date, and then you can go right to your email or your piece of information. You can have your call up pre-prepared. This is great if you know that you're going to have certain things that you're definitely going to want to have called up, whether it's during a witness examination or as part of a mediation presentation or an oral argument. These can be really, really beneficial. They can be used in commercial litigation cases. Obviously, that's what this was used in. But they can also be used in personal injury cases, whether you want to highlight all of the medical records or you want to highlight certain events and when they occurred. This area right here allows you to turn on and off certain portions of the timeline. So you can click on it and you can only highlight, say you want to highlight all of the injuries before the accident, or you want to highlight everything after the accident, and everything still remains interactive. And then you can go right back to your timeline and you can put different pieces of information together and you can take them apart. So that's just one example of interactive timelines. The next I wanted to point out is this interactive timeline. This is great because it is a build, so the dates pop up one at a time. And again, it allows you to control the receipt of information so that the jury or the trier of fact can follow along with you as you tell your story. This is great too because you can see that you have the call outs as part of your timeline. You can actually pull up the document, kind of like you just saw a second ago, or you can put the pertinent information just right below the timeline. This is really useful, especially if you know there's just going to be a couple of things you want to highlight, and you want to make sure that the timeline is still visible while at the same time being able to see exactly what you're referring to, and give yourself just a little more space to develop those thoughts that you're highlighting on the timeline a little bit more. As you can see, we also use kind of familiar icons right here, which is very helpful as people are looking at things. They know exactly what you're talking about. The next set of timelines, this is an auto-populating timeline. So this is great because with just one click, you can have each date pop up as you're kind of telling your story, and you don't have to keep clicking it over and over again. Again, this is great too because it's just another type of timeline, but it allows you to control the receipt of information. What's nice about this one too is you can still make this interactive where you can click on the date and then you can go right back to your timeline. So that's wonderful. The next one I want to be able to highlight is this one. This one was used in a medical malpractice case, and they wanted to really emphasize that a lot of activities occurred in a very, very short period of time. And all of these activities occurred between 3 hours, and they wanted to show the passing of time as they went through the timeline showing the series of events. They wanted to be able to put a few bullet points in to give a little bit more of a description of what was going on at the time and why certain things were happening. Again, you can use familiar icons so that people know exactly what you're talking about. And as you build through each of these events, you can see that we highlight the new events and then the rest of the events kind of go a little bit more gray because you want the trier of fact to follow along with you. And I think what's nice about this one in particular is because there are so many events that occurred. If you had done it just as a plain stagnant timeline, a lot of this information just would have gotten lost and people would have glazed over it. But this kind of forces people to follow along with you. Also, sometimes when you have it built for you beforehand, people can get focused on looking at something else and they won't be listening to you as you're telling your story. So that's just one more example. And we can make those interactive too if you want to click on it and go directly to the medical record. This is another nice timeline. In this situation, we wanted to be able to show the full document within the timeline and also have the call outs. As you can see, these have all been sanitized. So some of the information is a little bit blurry, but sometimes it's nice for people to, again, see the timeline, but also see what the document is you're referring to, and then be able to pull out the pertinent information. And the last timeline I wanted to be able to show you, this is another build. And what's nice here is you can just see the document. And this is great if you just want to show what the document is, but you don't necessarily need to do any call outs from it. It just kind of helps refamiliarize people with what it is you're talking about. You can also show, here they really wanted to emphasize how much evidence was filed with something. If you need to show, whether it's requests for changes or change orders or anything like that, you can do that too. You can also use these long lines to show the passage of time, which is really, really helpful, especially if you're showing a delay case or how long it took for someone to take action on something. That can be really helpful. So here are just a few examples of some of my favorite timelines that we have. I would love to talk with you further if you have any questions about these. So thanks so much.